dangerous planet in the universe.
In a small village in northern India, surrounded by green fields and dusty roads, stood an old house. It was a haveli, a big crumbling building with tall walls and broken windows. The villagers called it the Black House because its walls were dark with age and dirt. Nobody went near it. They said a spirit lived there, a bad one named Maya. She wasn't just a ghost. She was angry, full of hate, and she made bad things happen. People who went too close got sick. Some heard whispers at night. Others saw shadows move where no one stood. Long ago, Maya had been a woman. The villagers didn't talk much about her past, but the old ones said she was wronged, betrayed by someone she loved. Her anger stayed after she died, turning her into something evil. She haunted the Black House, and the village lived in fear. One hot summer, the village couldn't take it anymore. A woman had gone missing near the house, and strange noises came from it every night. The elders decided it was time to act. They called Babaji, a holy man who knew about spirits. He was old, with a long white beard and sharp eyes. He carried a bag full of bells, books, and powders that smelled strange. Babaji came to the village on a dusty evening. The sun was red, sinking behind the hills. The villagers gathered outside the Black House, holding sticks and lanterns. They were scared but hopeful. Babaji stood in front of the house, looking at its dark windows. "This spirit is strong," he said, "but we can trap her." The ritual started at midnight. The air was heavy and the wind stopped. Babaji drew a circle on the ground with white powder. He placed candles around it and lit them. The flames flickered even though there was no breeze. He chanted words in a language no one understood. His voice was loud, then soft like a song. The villagers stood back, clutching each other. Some prayed quietly. Inside the house, things got worse. The windows rattled. A scream came from somewhere deep inside, loud and sharp like a woman in pain. The villagers gasped, but Babaji didn't stop. He held a small mirror in one hand and a bell in the other. He rang the bell, and the sound was sharp, cutting through the night. "Show yourself, Maya," he shouted. The scream came again, louder. The ground shook a little, and dust fell from the house's walls. Babaji walked inside, fearless. The villagers waited outside, too scared to follow. They heard crashes, like things breaking, and more screams. Then silence. After what felt like hours, Babaji came out. His face was tired, but he nodded. "It is done," he said. "Maya is trapped." He had locked her in a small room at the back of the house. It was a dark, windowless room with a heavy wooden door. Babaji had put special seals on the door, papers with red and black writing. He locked it with an old iron key and gave it to the village head, a man named Ramu. "Keep this key safe," Babaji said. "Never open that door. If you do, Maya will come out, and she will be worse than before." Ramu nodded, his hands shaking as he took the key. The villagers promised to stay away from the Black House. They thanked Babaji and gave him food and money. He left the village the next day, saying nothing more. The Black House went quiet after that. No more screams, no more shadows. Grass grew tall around it, and vines climbed its walls. The village children were told never to play near it. The key was hidden in Ramu's house, locked in a box. Years passed, and the story of Maya became a whisper, something the old people told to scare the young ones. But the house was still there, waiting. Its dark windows watched the village, like eyes that never closed. The village was small and quiet, with dusty roads and old houses made of mud and brick. The sun was always hot, and the air smelled of dry earth. Not many people came to the village. It was far from the city, hidden behind fields and hills. But one day, two strangers arrived. Amit was a young man, maybe 25, with messy hair and a tired face. He drove a beat-up car that rattled on the rough roads. Sitting next to him was Priya, his cousin. She was a little younger, with sharp eyes and a habit of asking too many questions. They were from the city, on their way to visit their uncle in a nearby town. Their car had broken down, and the village was the closest place to find help. Amit parked the car near a small tea shop. The shop was old, with a tin roof and plastic chairs. An old man sat there, sipping tea. He looked at them but didn't smile. "Car trouble?" he asked. Amit nodded. "It won't start. Is there a mechanic here?" The old man pointed to a shop down the road. "Raju fixes cars. He's slow, but he's good." Priya looked around. The village felt strange. The houses were quiet and no one was outside. She saw the black house in the distance, standing alone on a hill. Its dark walls and broken windows made her feel uneasy. "What's that place?" she asked, pointing. The old man's face changed. He looked away. "Don't go there," he said. "It's not safe." "Why not?" Priya asked. The old man didn't answer. He just sipped his tea and stared at the ground. Amit laughed, trying to lighten the mood. "Probably just an old story," he said. "Every village has one." Priya wasn't so sure. She kept looking at the house. It seemed to watch her back like it knew she was there. Raju, the mechanic, was a short man with greasy hands. He looked at the car and said it would take a day to fix. "You can stay at the guest house," he said. "It's cheap." The guest house was a small building with 2 rooms and a creaky fan. Amit and Priya took one room. It had a hard bed and a small window. From the window, Priya could see the black house. It was far, but it felt close. She didn't like it. That night, they ate dinner at the tea shop. The food was simple, dal and rice. The villagers were quiet watching them. Priya tried to ask about the black house again, but no one answered. One woman, old and wrinkled, whispered, "Stay away from that place." Amit thought it was funny. "They're just trying to scare us," he said. "It's probably nothing." But Priya couldn't stop thinking about the house. When they went back to the guest house, she lay awake. The fan creaked and the air was hot. Outside, the night was quiet, but she thought she heard something, a faint whisper like a voice calling from far away. She looked out the window. The black house stood on the hill, dark and still. The next morning, Raju said the car wasn't ready. "Maybe tomorrow," he said. Amit was annoyed, but Priya didn't mind. She wanted to know more about the house. She didn't know why, but it pulled her, like a secret she had to find out. The sun was high, burning the dusty village roads. Amit and Priya sat outside the tea shop, waiting for news about their car. The air was hot and flies buzzed around. Raju, the mechanic, had said the car needed a new part and it would take another day. Amit was frustrated. He kicked a stone and muttered, "This place is boring." Priya didn't answer. She was staring at the black house again. It sat on the hill, its dark walls looking heavier in the daylight. She felt something strange, like the house was calling her. It wasn't a sound, but a feeling, like a tug in her chest. She couldn't explain it. "Let's go check out that house," she said suddenly. Amit looked at her, surprised. "What, that creepy place?" The old man said to stay away. Priya shrugged. "It's just a house. Maybe there's something interesting inside. We're stuck here anyway." Amit frowned. He didn't like the idea, but he was bored. "Fine," he said. "But if we get in trouble, it's your fault." They walked up the hill. The path was overgrown with weeds, and the air felt thick. The closer they got, the quieter it became. No birds, no wind, just their footsteps crunching on the dirt. The black house loomed larger now. Its windows were like dark eyes watching them. Priya's heart beat faster, but she kept going. The front door was heavy wood, cracked and faded. It was half open, creaking in the breeze. Amit pushed it and it groaned loudly. Inside, the air was cold and smelled of dust. The floor was covered in dirt, and old furniture sat broken in corners. Cobwebs hung like curtains. "This place is a mess," Amit said, his voice echoing. Priya didn't answer. She walked deeper into the house, her eyes scanning the walls. She saw faded paintings, cracked mirrors, and a staircase leading up to darkness. Then she noticed a hallway at the back. It was narrow, and at the end was a door. It was different from the others, solid with strange red and black papers stuck to it. "What's that?" she whispered. Amit came closer. "Looks like a locked door. Probably a storage room." Priya stepped toward it. The air got colder, and her skin prickled. She thought she heard a sound like a soft whisper coming from behind the door. "Did you hear that?" she asked. Amit shook his head. "You're imagining things. Let's go back. This place gives me the creeps." But Priya didn't move. She touched the door. It felt heavy, like it was holding something back. The papers on it had strange writing, like symbols. She didn't know what they meant, but they made her uneasy. "Come on," Amit said, pulling her arm. "We shouldn't be here." Priya nodded slowly, but as they turned to leave, the floor creaked behind them. They froze. It wasn't their footsteps. It came from the hallway like someone else was there. But when they looked, no one was. "Let's get out," Amit said, his voice shaky. They hurried out, the house's dark windows watching them go. Back at the guest house, Priya couldn't stop thinking about the door. The whisper she heard felt real, like it was calling her name. The village was dark under the night sky. The moon was thin, casting weak light on the dusty roads. Priya lay on the hard bed in the guest house, staring at the ceiling. The creaky fan spun slowly, but she couldn't sleep. Her mind was on the black house, the sealed door, the strange papers, the whisper she heard. It all felt like a puzzle she had to solve. Amit was asleep, snoring softly. Priya sat up, her heart racing. She didn't know why, but she needed to go back to the house. It was like something was pulling her, stronger than before. She grabbed a flashlight and slipped out of the room, careful not to wake Amit. The village was quiet, and the air was cool. Her footsteps echoed as she walked up the hill. The black house stood tall, its dark shape blending into the night. The windows looked like black holes. Priya's hand shook, but she kept going. She pushed the heavy door open and stepped inside. The house was colder now, the air heavy with dust. Her flashlight beam cut through the darkness, showing broken chairs and cracked walls. She went straight to the hallway with the sealed door. The red and black papers glowed faintly in the light, their symbols strange and twisted. The door felt alive, like it was watching her. Priya stood still, listening. Then she heard it, a whisper soft but clear. "Priya," it said, her name drawn out like a hiss. She froze, her breath catching. The whisper came again from behind the door. "Come, open." She stepped closer, her hand reaching for the door. The air grew colder and her flashlight flickered. Suddenly a shadow moved in the corner of her eye. It was tall and thin, like a person, but when she turned, nothing was there. Her heart pounded. "Who's there?" she whispered, her voice shaking. No answer, but the whisper came again, louder. "Open the door." Priya's hand touched the door. It was ice cold. One of the papers fell off, floating to the floor. The air felt heavy, like something was pressing down on her. She wanted to run, but her feet wouldn't move. The shadow appeared again, closer now in the hallway. It was blurry, like smoke, but it had eyes, red and glowing. Priya screamed and stumbled back. Her flashlight dropped, the light going out. The darkness swallowed her. She ran, tripping over broken wood until she was outside. The night air hit her face and she kept running until she reached the guest house. Inside, she locked the door and sat on the bed, shaking. The whisper still echoed in her mind. She didn't wake Amit. She didn't know how to explain what she saw. But one thing was clear, the house wasn't empty. Something was alive in there, and it knew her name. Morning came slowly to the village. The sun rose over the fields, but the air felt heavy. Priya sat on the guest house bed, her eyes red from no sleep. She hadn't told Amit about her night visit to the black house. The whisper and the shadow with red eyes stayed in her mind, like a bad dream that wouldn't leave. Amit woke up and saw her face. "You look terrible," he said, rubbing his eyes. "What's wrong?" Priya didn't want to talk, but her hands were still shaking. I went to the house last night," she said quietly. Amit sat up, his face serious. "What, alone? Are you crazy?" She told him about the whisper calling her name, the cold door, the shadow. Amit didn't laugh this time. He looked worried. "We're leaving as soon as the car is fixed," he said. "This place isn't right." But the car wasn't ready. Raju, the mechanic, said the part hadn't arrived. "Maybe tomorrow," he said, wiping his hands on a rag. Priya felt trapped. She needed answers about the house. They went to the tea shop for breakfast. The same old man was there, sipping tea. Priya sat near him. "Tell me about the black house," she said. "Please," the old man sighed. His name was Mohan. He looked at the ground, then spoke. "It's about Maya," he said. "She was a young woman long ago. She loved a man, but he betrayed her. He married someone else. Maya went mad with anger. She did something terrible, cursed the village. When she died, her spirit stayed in the house." Priya listened, her heart racing. "Why is she locked in that room?" Mohan frowned. "Babaji trapped her. But she's strong. If that door opens, she'll hurt everyone." Amit shook his head. "It's just a story." Mohan's eyes were sharp. "It's not. Stay away." That evening, Priya and Amit walked back to the guest house. The black house was visible on the hill, its dark shape like a stain on the sky. As they passed a field, Priya stopped. She heard it again, the whisper. "Priya?" It was faint, coming from the direction of the house. Amit heard nothing, but he saw her face. "What is it?" Before she could answer, the air turned cold. A wind blew, carrying dust. In the distance, near the house, Priya saw it. a tall shadow moving between the trees. Its red eyes glowed, then vanished. She grabbed Amit's arm. "Did you see that?" Amit looked, but the shadow was gone. "You're scaring me," he said. "We need to leave." Back at the guest house, Priya couldn't shake the feeling that the house was watching her. The whisper felt closer now, like it was inside her head. She didn't know what Maya wanted, but she was sure of one thing. The spirit wasn't just locked in the house. It was reaching out. The next day dragged on like all the others in the village. The sun beat down on the dusty roads, and the air hung heavy with heat. Priya and Amit sat outside the tea shop, waiting for Raju to finish with the car. Priya's eyes kept drifting to the black house on the hill. The shadow she saw the night before lingered in her thoughts, its red eyes burning like fire. The whisper was constant now, a soft hum in her ears, urging her back. Amit noticed her staring. "Stop looking at it," he said, his voice low. "We're getting out of here today," but Priya couldn't stop. The pull was too strong. "I have to go back," she said. "One more time, to see if it's real." Amit grabbed her arm. "No, it's not safe. Remember what Mohan said?" Priya pulled away. "I need to know." Before he could stop her, she stood and started walking up the hill. Amit cursed and followed, his footsteps heavy behind her. The black house waited, its door creaking open as if inviting them in. Inside, the air was thicker, colder than before. Dust motes danced in the faint light from the broken windows. They went straight to the hallway. The sealed door stood there, the red and black papers peeling at the edges. One was already on the floor from Priya's last visit. The whisper started immediately. "Open me!" It was clearer, almost a voice, filled with pain and anger. Priya's hand trembled as she reached out. "Don't," Amit said, stepping forward. But his foot caught on a loose board. He stumbled, his hand hitting the door hard. The impact shook it, and two more papers tore free, fluttering down like dead leaves. The door rattled. A low groan came from inside, like wood cracking under pressure. The air turned freezing and shadows twisted in the corners. Priya backed away, her eyes wide. "What did you do?" Amit's face went pale. "I didn't mean—" The door burst open with a crack like thunder. Darkness poured out, thick and alive, swirling around them. From the void stepped a figure, a woman in a tattered sari, her hair long and wild, her skin pale as death. Her eyes were red, glowing with hate. Maya. She didn't speak. She just stared, her presence filling the room with cold. Priya felt her mind twist, memories that weren't hers flooding in. Betrayal, pain, endless anger. Amit screamed as shadows wrapped around his legs, pulling him down. Priya tried to run, but Maya turned to her. "You freed me," the spirit hissed, her voice like wind through broken glass. "Now, join me." Priya fell to her knees, the cold seeping into her bones. She saw flashes of Maya's life, the lover's lie, the village's cruelty, the ritual that trapped her. The anger wasn't just Maya's, it was becoming Priya's. Amit crawled toward the door, gasping. "Run, get help!" But the shadows held him. Maya laughed, a sound that echoed through the house, shaking the walls. Priya fought it. She remembered Babaji's warning, the ritual. In the corner of the room, she saw a small bell, dusty but whole, the one from the old man's tale. With shaking hands, she grabbed it and rang it hard. The sound cut through the darkness, sharp and pure. Maya shrieked, clutching her ears. The shadows recoiled. Priya rang it again, louder. Amit broke free and staggered to his feet. Together they ran, the bell's chime chasing the spirit back. They burst out of the house, collapsing on the hill. Behind them, the door slammed shut, the remaining papers glowing faintly as if resealing themselves. The whisper stopped. The air warmed. Raju found them there, the car fixed at last. They left the village without a word, the black house shrinking in the rearview mirror. But Priya knew it wasn't over. At night in the city, she sometimes heard a faint whisper, and in her dreams, red eyes watched from the shadows. The house waited, patient as ever, for the next fool to come calling.